Thank you, Prerna, for the wonderful kirtan. Hare Krishna. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Kala Chanji Radha Kala Chanji Radhe. Jayo Radha Kala Chanji Radha Kala Chanji Radhe. जयो राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे। जयो जगन्नाथ जयो जगन्नाथ जयो बलदेवा जयो सुभद्रा। निताई गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताई गौरा हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल। जयो जयो प्रभुपाद 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 जयो जयो प्रभुपाद। जयो जयो प्रभुपाद 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 जयो जयो प्रभुपाद। निताई गौर प्रेमानंद। जयो जयो श्री चैतन्य जयो नित्यानंद। जय अद्वैत चंद्र जयो गौर भक्त वृंद। जयो जयो श्री चैतन्य जयो नित्यानंद। जय अद्वैत चंद्र जयो गौर भक्त वृंद। जयो जयो श्री चैतन्य जयो नित्यानंद। जय अद्वैत चंद्र जयो गौर भक्त वृंद। श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। Praying at the lotus feet of my spiritual master, our dear most Srila Prabhupada and all the Vaishnavas, may I speak few words in the glorification of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Shri Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the pleasure of the Vaishnavas and for my very own purification, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Kathanchana smite asmin dushkaram sukaram bhavet Vishmite viparitam syat Sri Chaitanya Namamitam. Things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one does not remember him, even easy things become very difficult. To this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. Adi Leela 14.1. Mukum karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham bande Shri Gurum Dina Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So after 2 weeks, I'm giving class. I forget my prayers and the recitations and everything, so forgive me. So we are in last 2-3 verses, last section of this wonderful Madhya Leela. This is the talks between Rai Ramananda and Lord. But it's towards the end. We stopped at 3:11, I believe. But before we get into the class this morning, ever since I got up, I had one constant two lines of thought. First I would share, and then we will get into the class, and then I will share towards the end what is the other one. Before I start verses, I wanted to, sorry this is personal, but I thought I wanted to. I usually don't prepare for class, confessing here. I usually just read the verses, and it's like just 10-minute reading, and I come and I sit and talk whatever, I can think of. But today I genuinely sat and prepared for the class, almost hour and a half or something. But I really wanted to put this across. So, and please forgive me if somehow or other I hurt you by any chance, but that's not the intention. I hope you get that. I'll read from here. So this is the first line of thought. Though through Back to Godhead magazine, Srila Prabhupada wanted us to hear our personal experiences in Krishna consciousness. But talking for myself, being a super conditioned soul, my experiences might or will change with time. So my conviction, so will my conviction in Krishna and in the philosophy might also change, get affected. My intention to spread Krishna or give Krishna may change. Today, when things are rosy, I may promote pure devotion. Krishna Eka Sharanam. Krishna is the only shelter. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharma Parityajya, and etc. Krishna is the only way to go, because my things are nice now, I can say nice things. But tomorrow, when my situation isn't what I expected it to be, I may start citing Vastu Shastra, astrology, and what not. Somewhere debating and saying that Krishna is not the only shelter. So, as an audience, I request you, and this is for me too, we should always make sure to hear from a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, on a daily basis, as much as possible. And then our tattva will be clear. And then no one can deter us from Shuddha Bhakti. Because whether it was 1965 or 1977, Prabhupada's words never changed, whether conversation, letter, or purports, like our scriptures, because it's Veda Vakya. And Prabhupada says, once you attend Mangalarti or the entire morning program for 12 years in a row, your words become Veda Vakya. It will not change. What to speak of Srila Prabhupada. He said it for Narottam Das Thakur. It's never changing, it's unchanging. But my words change, but not his. So please listen to Srila Prabhupada. And every time I hear Prabhupada's recorded voice, I feel, of course, the scriptures are our greatest fortune. We are very fortunate to have the temple. We are very fortunate to have the deities, especially established by Srila Prabhupada, etc., etc., etc. The scriptures and the temple and the book and the deity and whatnot. But I feel we are so fortunate. So, my humble obeisances to the technology that we can hear Srila Prabhupada's voice when he is not with us. This is our greatest fortune, at least for me, I feel. And then listen to others. First listen to Srila Prabhupada, then we listen to others. So you have a solid foundation which no Anuradha can make or break. So if I am deviating from the philosophy. So what a speaker should speak in a Srimad Bhagavatam class, because our ears should be chaste to Srila Prabhupada's philosophy. Because based on those, we try to live our lives. We try to, at least. Once Haldar Maharaj was asked, like, Srila Prabhupada gives so many instructions, it's so difficult to follow everything. And Maharaj said, Prabhupada is a pure devotee. And his instruction will be hard to follow. But of course, we try to follow as much as we can. Remember, our ears are instrumental to take us back to Godhead. So our ear, in the morning, when we get up, what thing wakes us up? The alarm clock, if it works for you. For me, at least, it's the alarm clock and not my love for Krishna. So See, even when we are sleeping, partially dead, partially conscious, it's the ear that works, still working. So we understand, and I have heard that that's the last organ that goes when we leave body. But anyway, the ears, even with the alarm clock, is enough to tell us how important our ears are. So it should be chased to Srila Prabhupada. We should not put anything and everything that come across, because it has a longer and eternal effect on our soul. So I was thinking that, how important it is to hear Srila Prabhupada, so that we know what we are, what we are speaking and what we are hearing, where we are and where we should go. So that is my humble request to each one of you. Please listen to Srila Prabhupada. I may say things, I may change things as per my intention. That's why Prabhupada gave us Bhagavad Gita as it is. Not my point of view, or not your point of view, or not the circumstances. It is eternal. It is as it is. So Prabhupada's words are as it is. You hear it? This is my personal experience, like from whatever I have heard, read. It never changes. It never changes. Because they say you don't have to remember the truth. If you're lying, you have to remember. If you're speaking the truth, you will always speak the same things. Whether I'm telling it to you, Mataji, or Prabhu, I'm saying the same thing, because I'm not changing the fact. And that's why Prabhupada's words do not change. Okay. So that's on Prabhupada. And I was thinking that, whether I should say it or not, and things like that, because I get bewildered sometimes. So, and then I read, this was before I started reading today's verses. So I was thinking, and then I read the verses, and I'll tell you what is the verse. Before that little chapter summary, we are ending it, so I would like to summarize. And this is from my own memory, and I did not go back to the verses. It's a long, long verses. We are like 314 verses. Yeah, 313 verses, so I didn't go back, but this is little chapter summary. So we begin with the wonderful meeting of Rai Ramananda and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then they met, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Rai to speak on Krishna Katha. Rai Ramananda starts with Varnashram. Mahaprabhu says, this is external. When we say this is external, it doesn't mean it is not important. Right? Like eating food. Like Parikshit Maharaj, for 7 days and nights, he was just hearing and hearing and hearing and not eating and drinking anything, that we all know. But eating and drinking is important for us to continue to keep the body and soul together. That's what Prabhupada says. It is a necessity. So it is necessity, but this is not the ultimate goal of why we have the body. Eating and sleeping and those 4 things are not the ultimate. It is a necessity. We do not deny it. Not having it, I don't remember the exact terms in management. There is something called, it's like so many years back when we, that, there's something called hygiene factor, there's something called a satisfaction factor. Without the hygiene factor won't make you motivated or something, but it's needed, like our food, right? And there is something called satisfaction, something that you get by chanting, by doing kirtan. But to sustain the satisfaction, we need the hygiene factor. We need the basics. So this is something like that. Varnashrama is something like that. And then it goes on, then Rai Ramananda brings many other topics like Bhagavad Gita, like Krishna gives, like yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, everything. And then Mahaprabhu keeps pushing, saying, Aage kaho aar, say more and more, go deeper and deeper. Finally, Rai Ramananda comes to prema, loving devotional service. And we have the 5 rasas, and he goes on to that, and he keeps pushing. And finally, Lord Mahaprabhu agrees and keeps pushing Ramananda Rai further to the point till Madhurya, or conjugal love, comes. And again, till Srimati Radharani, and goes deeper into it. So both of them are discussing and back and forth. So Rai Ramananda then speaks further by reciting. Then Mahaprabhu heard about Radharani, and then he said, what else do you know? Please tell me. And then he goes, he speaks, recites his own composition, Rai Ramananda. Rai Ramananda requests Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to stay for 10 more days and go deep into Krishna Katha, for which Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says it was bottomless and shoreless. It was unlimited. How much can I tell you? That's how the nature of Krishna Katha is. And then Rai Ramananda Rai says that, first I saw you as sannyasi, now I'm seeing you as a Sam Sundar, but with a white complexion. And then Krishna or Mahaprabhu shows his form and then says, then explains. And he says, how much can I hide from you, Ramananda Rai? Because you know it all. So there's no point me hiding it from you. So yes, I am. But I'm still Krishna. My complexion is Radharani's. And then he mentions, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Radharani does not touch anybody than the son of Nanda Maharaj. So that's why my complexion is white, like, or gold, molten golden, like Srimati Radharani. And then he said, hush, don't say to anybody that I am Krishna. Because you are mad, I am mad, and we are on the same platform. But if you go and tell to anybody else, they will not understand it. So please keep quiet and, keep it to yourself and don't share it with anybody. You understand me, I understand it, but not everybody will understand, and we are mad, and let's keep it at that. Right? Then Mahaprabhu invites him to Puri to discuss Krishna Katha forever, for rest of his life. So that's, and now we are here where we are. So today's verse 3:11. Ramananda Rai More Koti Namaskar. Jare mukhe koilo prabhu roshero bistar. This is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Who was Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami? He was speaking, he was hearing from Raghunath Das Goswami, while Raghunath Das Goswami on the banks of Chaitanya, after departure of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to give up his life from jumping from Govardhan hills. And then Sanatan Goswami, especially Rupa Goswami, said, no, go and speak Gaur Katha about Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And then he spoke every day at the banks on the ghat of Radhakund. You go and see the Samadhi, beautiful Samadhi and temple is there. And amazing kirtan goes on whenever you are there. At least I went 3 times and I heard all the 3 times. Amazing and very different and unique tunes. So Raghunath Das Goswami sits on Radhakund on the edges and reads, recites Gaur Katha, Chaitanya Charitamrit. And who sits and listens in the audience was Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And where was Raghunath Das Goswami was reciting it from? From Swarupera Karcha, from the Karcha, the diary of Sarup Damodar, who was another associate, Lalita Sakhi. We have Rai Ramananda, Vishakha Sakhi, Prabhupada says, and Ramananda and Swarup Damodar was Lalita Sakhi. And both of them were there at Gambhira when Mahaprabhu will go in deep pangs of separation from Radha Rani, and sometimes even Krishna, and say Krishna, Krishna. And these are the 2 associates. We can understand how important they were, like, as we say, Rupa Goswami's Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. The heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was known to Rupa Goswami. So what to speak of Sarup Damodar, the intimate associate, the most intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rai Ramananda and Swarup Damodar. So from this Karcha, from this diary, Raghunath Das Goswami got, who had like 16 years out of 18 years of Mahaprabhu's stay in Jagannath Puri. And he stayed there for 16 years, and then he came Radhakund, he was reciting there, and Kaviraj Goswami sitting there, hearing Chaitanya Charitamrita, and later on wrote it for us, and Prabhupada translated it for us. So this Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said that Ramananda Rai, more koti namaskar, crores of, obeisances to whom? Ramananda Rai. Why? Because jar in whose mouth, mukhe, Koilo Prabhu Mahaprabhu made him speak this, Roshero Bistar, the explanation of the rasa. Rasa is the mellow, the rasa of Madhurya. Translation. I offer 10 million obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Ramananda Rai, because from his mouth much spiritual information has been expanded by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So much has been spoken through Ramananda Rai by Mahaprabhu. As we have started the chapter where we were explained that how the cloud is pouring, we may see that cloud is pouring, the cloud is pouring water. But ultimately it is all from the ocean that's got evaporated in the cloud. and finally again giving back. So the ocean gives it and gets it back. Similarly, Mahaprabhu gave this knowledge of the tattva, the gyan of rasa, to Rai Ramananda in his heart like Brahmaji. And at the same time, then later Rai Ramananda was pouring it back to Mahaprabhu. So ultimately it was Mahaprabhu who was giving it to Rai Ramananda's heart, in Rai Ramananda's heart, and like that. So we started from there and we are ending today where you say, I pay my obeisances because through this person, through this Rai Ramananda, Mahaprabhu has given us the entire philosophy. So we pay our, along with Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, we also pay our 10 millions and more obeisances at the lotus feet of Rai Ramananda. দামোদর স্বরূপের কর্চা অনুসারে রামানন্দ মিলন লীলা করিল প্রচারে. Translation. I have tried to preach the pastime of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's meeting with Ramananda Rai in accordance with the notebook of Sri Swarup Damodar. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. At the end of every chapter, please listen to this purport very carefully, very with all your ears, please. At the end of every chapter, the author admits the value of the disciplic succession. He never claims to have written this transcendental literature by carrying out research work. He simply admits his indebtedness to the notes taken by Swarup Damodar, Raghunath Das Goswami, and other authoritative persons. This is the way of writing transcendental literatures, which are never meant for so-called scholars and research workers. The process of Mahajanoyana Gatastapantha, one has to strictly follow great personalities and acharyas. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. One who has the favor of the acharya knows everything. I'll repeat that. One who has the favor of the acharya knows everything. This statement made by Kaviraj Goswami is very valuable for all pure devotees. Sometimes the Prakrita Sahajiyas claim that they have heard the truth from their guru, but one cannot have transcendental knowledge simply by hearing from a guru who is not bona fide. The guru must be bona fide, and he must have heard from his own bona fide guru. Only then will his message be accepted as bona fide. Lord Krishna confirms this in the Bhagavad Gita 4.1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha imam vivashvate yogam proktavam aham avyayam vivashvan manave praha manur ishva kave abravit. The Supreme Lord said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivashvan, and Vivashvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ishwaku. In this way, the message is transmitted in the bona fide spiritual disciplic succession from bona fide spiritual master to bona fide student. From bona fide spiritual master to bona fide student. Srila Kaviraj Goswami, therefore, as usual, concludes this chapter by asserting his faith in the lotus feet of the sixth Goswami. I will repeat again. Srila Kaviraj Goswami, therefore, as usual, concludes this chapter by reasserting his faith in the lotus feet of the six Goswamis. Thus, he is able to set forth his transcendental literature, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki. So, this was something that I was speaking in the beginning. So, when we sit in the Vyasasana, we are not here, speaking for myself, not here to establish myself. It is not my philosophy. This is Srila Prabhupada gave us, which is bona fide through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when we speak here, this is for myself and I'm speaking only for me, on behalf of me, that I should be promoting only Srila Prabhupada. I'm not here to be a scholar. A scholar is one, that I'm a scholar, you are a scholar. My job is, as Prabhupada says, the Rishis and the Munis' job is to defy, reject or decline and put yourself superior in your philosophy. How my philosophy is better. But my job is not to prove here how I understand better than Srila Prabhupada. My job is to say how Prabhupada is the greatest and how he gave us, which no one else did. My job is to, repeat, learn and repeat what Srila Prabhupada gave me, what I understood from Srila Prabhupada. And that's where we will be victorious. And it's you yourself, we all of us can feel it when we speak for Srila Prabhupada, the joy it brings. It's but being independent, okay, this is what my life is, this is what I think, and this is what is happening. But as I said, I may think today something, I may think something else tomorrow. Who cares about my thoughts? Because I'm not a pure devotee. And I have many, more than I know, nasty thoughts, but not a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. So we should always speak through parampara. What Prabhupada says, we just repeat. And Prabhupada, that's all Prabhupada said the preaching is. You don't have to add or subtract anything. Just repeat what I said. And that's our success. We will be all successful. We all care to be successful. If we really want to be successful, this is the key to success Prabhupada gave us, that just repeat what Prabhupada said. So Prabhupada said, when we speak through parampara, is what Prabhupada is saying here. There is I think it was in Orissa, though I'm not 100% sure, but it was a Maidan program. So Prabhupada gave a class, and this person comes and he tells how he sees Krishna, how his personal experience with Krishna. And the devotees, the initial devotees, they're pretty rough. They came across, they want to take him off the mic and won't let him speak. And Prabhupada said, no, let him speak. So whatever his bhava was, he expressed it for the entire time. He completed. Prabhupada gave him entire scope to speak whatever he wanted to, full his heart out to the whatever many thousands of Maidan programs will have always more people than, thousands of people than a temple program. And then end of it, Prabhupada says, if we actually have experienced Krishna, we will never speak it in a mic. That's it. Because it's so high that you wouldn't share it. If we have actually, so that he let that person speak for lines after, speak lines after lines after lines. And Prabhupada said just this. I'm just paraphrasing Prabhupada. It's there in Prabhupada memories. He said, if you have actually experienced this, we don't speak about it. So Prabhupada is eloquent. One sentence and shut. So Prakriti Sahajya Prabhupada is talking here about that, claims that they have heard it from their guru. But if the guru is not bona fide and have not heard it from a bona fide guru, then it's no use. The other thing, that other thought of, I said another line of thought, this keeps coming to us, at least to me, I would say, if not us, is why Chaitanya Charitamrita was completed by Srila Prabhupada before Srimad Bhagavatam. That's a thought I always get. Is it because Prabhupada is Bengali, Chaitanya Charitamrita is Bengali, and we are not this body Prabhupada is teaching, and still on the Bengali sentiment we are doing Chaitanya Charitamrita? Maybe. But I've been thinking, of course, whatever Prabhupada does is perfect. He knows what to do. That is the ultimate thing to understand. But then I was thinking, why Chaitanya Charitamrita? So this is my thought, absolutely my thought, okay? So I own it. Nobody is responsible for my thinking or whatever I'm saying. I'm to be blamed if it is wrong. This is because of Radharani. Because Radharani is mentioned here in the CC. Because Radha Tattva is explained here authoritatively and authentically. Through parampara. No speculation, no sentimentalism. And why is Radha Tattva important for us? Why there are so many things are there, but why is Radha Tattva? And actually in the morning when I was paying my obeisances, I was thinking that, we chant like Shri Namaste Saraswati Deve. Gaura, this is Prabhupada mantra. Of course, Saraswati Thakur's name is there, but Gauravani Pracharine, not Krishnavani Pracharine. Gauravani Pracharine. So he came to give us Gauranga Mahaprabhu, right? So let me just quickly, this was Hariparshad Prabhu. This is by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but in his class I have taken a snapshot from his presentation. This is writing of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This is called Amritavani, Nectar of Instruction for Immortality. Lord's association and Lord's associates and devotees. And the point is, who are the Gauriya Vaishnavas? So this is what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Who are the Gauriya Vaishnavas? Devotees of Vishnu are called Vaishnavas. Devotees of Krishna are called Krishnas, Karshnas. And the devotees of Sri Radha are called Gauriyas. So who all are Gauriyas here? Okay, anyways, if you think you are in the Parampara, if you think we are in the Gauriya Parampara, then that's why Chaitanya Charitamrita, because the devotees of Radha are called Gauriyas. This is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Further on, so if you see Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Sharanagati introductory song, I wrote 2 lines or 4. It says, Sharanagati introductory song, this is, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Swaparshad Suya Dham Saho Avatari. This said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, having mercy upon the jivas, all the souls, all the conditioned souls especially. Swaparshad Suya Dhama. He came down to this material world with his associates like Rai Ramananda, Sarup Damodar, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, our 6 Goswamis, and many others, his associates, his intimate associates, and Suya Dhama, his Dham, Navadip Dham, Saha Avatari, he came as is. Then the next line I was thinking on, Atyanta durlabho premo koribare dan shikhaye sharanagati bhakotero pran. We are not getting into the Sharanagati part of it, that's another topic, but the other line, Atyanta durlabho, it's rarely achievable, very durlabh, very durlabh, rarely achievable. That is prema, Krishna prema. That is prema koribare dan. Shikhaye sharanagati bhakotero pran. He is. So he came, why did Mahaprabhu came? To give prema. To give prema. As we have learned that Varnashrama is important, but it is external. So Mahaprabhu came to give prema, and Prabhupada had translated it for all of us, because in order to quickly achieve the success of this, we read at the end of 10 offenses that we might commit towards the Harinam. What do we say? In order to quickly achieve the success of life, that's prema. And so that is the success of human life, that's prema. And who came to give this to us? Mahaprabhu. But who translated it for us is Srila Prabhupada and explained it with his purport after purport after purport. And he did not just did it for Chaitanya Charitamrita, he did it for Bhagavad Gita, first verse onwards, till the last verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita, giving us prema, because that's the ultimate goal of human life, prema. And that's why Mahaprabhu said it's external. Go ahead and ahead and ahead. Mahaprabhu came down, and that's why Srila Prabhupada, I don't know if I could put across the message what I'm trying to say. If you understand, that will be your glory, not mine. But the emotion is, that's why Chaitanya Charitamrita was explained by Srila Prabhupada to us, translated for us before Srimad Bhagavatam. There are many translations actually for Bhagavatam, but if you see 11 years Bhakti Vinod Thakur searched to get one copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's how rare, because it is available at BVT and we have Lakshmi with us, we can just buy it. But it's much beyond. It speaks about Radha Tattva, Radha Rani. And that is so rare. We read through so many things about Radharani, how she serves Krishna, and it was so difficult to comprehend, beyond my paycheck, beyond my understanding. And to give that, to make us understand that, Prabhupada translated it, and Prabhupada knew nobody else can do it than him. So he had to do it. Everything that we do in our spiritual practice, everything that we are doing day to day in our spiritual life, in fact our material life also, so it can be aligned with our spiritual life, is for this one thing, and that's prema. And that's why Personally, I was thinking that's why Prabhupada gave us Chaitanya Charitamrita, completed Chaitanya Charitamrita by his own hand, and not left it for anybody else to interpret or translate or anything. Not that the others are not qualified enough, but Prabhupada gave all his strength and potency and love for us in this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Last verse. Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Jar Ash Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishna Das. That Shri was added by me, I will repeat it. Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Jar Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, English, 8th chapter, describing the talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rai Ramananda. Srila Prabhupada ki. Before we end, I wanted you to hear this purport by Srila Prabhupada. I still have time. Okay. This is, you can read it for yourself also. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 6:10:6. Canto 6, chapter 10, verse 6. In the purport towards the end. This morning I was hearing it. And I thought we should share it. Like everything that we have is to be used for Krishna, and that's its only success. So this is Chanakya Pandit. I'm not reading the Sanskrit. We will go directly towards, if you can read. Everything within this material world will be destroyed, and therefore one should use everything for good purposes. If one is advanced in knowledge, he must always be prepared to sacrifice the entire world. Can you hear through this? Okay. At the present moment, the entire world is in a dangerous position under the spell of a godless civilization. The Krishna consciousness movement needs many exalted, learned persons who will sacrifice their lives to revive God consciousness throughout the world. I will repeat this. The Krishna consciousness movement needs many exalted, learned persons who will sacrifice their lives to revive God consciousness throughout the world. We therefore invite all men and women advanced in knowledge to join the Krishna consciousness movement and sacrifice their lives for the great cause of reviving the God consciousness of human society. Yeah. 6:10:6, the purport. Vedavis, towards the end. 6th verse. You don't see it? Maybe mystically for me, just. Yeah. Yeah. See if the last part, if you can. We therefore invite all men and women advanced in knowledge to join the Krishna consciousness movement and sacrifice their lives for the great cause of reviving the God consciousness of human society. Now, we don't say it in our Bhagavad Gita class when people are joining, the sacrifice your life, but that's what Prabhupada is asking us. So our knowledge, our English, our intelligence, whatever we have, whatever we are good at, we sacrifice everything for preaching this movement, and that's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. That's why we are learning, we are getting educated, and we are educating our children for, so that when they become smart enough, please preach Krishna consciousness for revival of the human society, which is godless civilization, as Prabhupada is saying. I don't want to go to the next chapter. I just want to bask in Srila Prabhupada's mercy, and wanted all of us to meditate that what Prabhupada has given us is Attanta Durlabha. It's very, 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 very rare gift. May we all, make use of it and tell others to. Gauravani Pracharine, to spread the message of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, which is very rare. So please go ahead and share your thoughts, your questions. I don't know, but you can still ask. I can try, but yeah, comments. If any, else we will pause. You want to say something, Mataji? Bring a mic. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Wanted to say something?
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes.
So we have Golak Vrindavan where Krishna is like he's busy with his pastime. So do we have a place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also he has any
Navadvip is also there, no?
there? Okay.
Yeah,
So
like
in
Golok,
spiritual world.
like we have Brindavan,
Okay.
Bhauma Brindavan, and then there, like that we have Navadvip also. And they always go for Sankirtan is what I have heard there. That's what Mahaprabhu will take you to, Sankirtan. That's what he came to give, and that's what he takes. That's what I have heard. And they go to different lokas and do Sankirtan is what I have heard from the seniors. Like yes, Mahaprabhu also has his dham that he brought down from this like Suya Dham. He brought the dham down. And but it is also eternally existing like Brindavan. Is Prabhu to speak?
After many attempts, Lord Chaitanya, by King Prataparudra, wanted to have Lord Chaitanya's association, but Lord Chaitanya kept on putting him off. But then one day Lord Chaitanya said, "Today I will give King Prataparudra my mercy." And then he met with King Prataparudra. And then there's so many stories, like when Govardhan, the father of Raghunath Das Goswami, met Haridas Thakur. It's explained that Haridas Thakur gave Raghunath his mercy, and then he became Raghunath Das Goswami, became a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. So a lot of times we see this Kripa Kahe in Bangala. It says Kripa Kahe, that by the Lord's mercy. So how does a person get the Lord's mercy? It seems like some kind of magic, like we're trying so hard by sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi bhakti, to try to achieve a higher level, but then we read about people getting the mercy. It seems like that's what we really need.
I mean, I don't know. Recently, in the Srimad Bhagavatam class here, I think it was Brinda Savika Mataji who was reading the purport of Srila Prabhupada, where towards the end of the purport, I'm not sure again who was it exactly, but I was taking pictures and Srila Prabhupada was writing in the purport that, when we serve the pure devotee, actually when we serve the pure devotee, this is my understanding again, when we serve pure devotee, we get the mercy of the entire parampara. The parampara becomes very merciful towards us. We get the glance of parampara, and through that we get the glance of Srimati Radharani, is what my understanding is and what I have gathered from Srila Prabhupada's book. Prabhupada, even many times Prabhupada writes, when we serve the pure devotee, when we become attached to pure devotee. This is Shruti Kirti Prabhu. I still get confused. His name is Shruti Kirti or Shruta Kirti. Either way, we know Prabhu served Srila Prabhupada as a servant for more than 2 years. And he was seeing some devotees, other disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who were very meticulous in serving Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada has this instruction of washing the rice for cooking for bhoga, cooking bhoga 3 times. And Prabhu would say that, when Prabhupada saw me washing rice, he said, "What are you doing?" While he was washing it 3 times, he said, "You can wash only once." So Prabhu was saying how lenient Srila Prabhupada was towards him. And this is Prabhu's words. He said that he was like kind of, he knew that that's all I could do. So one day Prabhu was feeling this, other disciples are so meticulous in their service and their dedication to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhu is not. I'm paraphrasing it. And Prabhu told Srila Prabhupada this. He expressed his heart, and Prabhupada didn't say something immediately or something like that, and eventually asked, "Do you love me?" And he immediately says, "Yes, Srila Prabhupada." And Prabhupada said, "That's enough." And that's all we need to do. What we need to do, what is right, what is wrong, especially in spiritual life, it's so difficult to understand. Even the best of 16 rounds, whether it is best or not. For myself, I don't know. But whether we can love Srila Prabhupada, that I know. We can love Srila Prabhupada. This much or this much or this much, it's up to us, our bandwidth, how much we can.